Shivaya Namaha, Shivaya Namaha, Shivaya Namaha. Om. Om Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tamha Devamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamshirishibhyo Mahatbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Sarvopaplavarahitaha Prajnanghanaha Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi Brahmaivahamasmi. Om. Vedantartha vibhasakaya gurave Shantaya sannyasine Nanavadi nagendra sanghapavaye Yogindra vandyaya cha Mohadvanta divākarāya bhagavat pādābhidhām bibhrate tasmai bhāshyakrite namostu satatam purnāya bodhātmane. Om. Let us recite the verses 56, 57 and 58, and thus we will be able to recall, recapitulate, and then proceed further. Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha Sukheshu vigatasprihaha Sukheshu vigatasprihaha Vitaragabhayakrodhaha Vitaragabhayakrodhaha Sthitadhirmuniruchyate Sthitadhirmuniruchyate Yasarvatra nabhisnehaha Yasarvatra nabhisnehaha Tattat prapya shubhashubham Tattat prapya shubhashubham Nabhinandati nadveshti Nabhinandati nadveshti Tasya prajna pratisthita Tasya prajna pratisthita Yada samharate chayam Yada samharate chayam Kurmonganiva sarvashaha Kurmonganiva sarvashaha Indriyani indriyarthebhyaha Indriyani indriyarthebhyaha Prarabdhebhyaha tasya prajna pratisthita. Tasya prajna pratisthita. Now Bhagavan Shri Krishna talking about the prajnasthairyam, the steadfastness of the knowledge. He says, just as the turtle is able to withdraw its senses or its limbs when faced with any danger, even when a person is able to withdraw himself from the world completely, know such a person to be sthita prajna. Know that tasya prajna pratisthita, that this prajna, his knowledge, is steadfast, pratisthita. Now, kurmonganiva sarvashaha, just as the turtle is able to withdraw completely. The completely, what would it mean that a person is also able to withdraw his participation in the world completely, or a person is able to withdraw his senses completely? Sarvashaha. Yada ayam sarvashaha samharate tada tasya prajna pratisthita. This arrangement of the words also allows us to understand that he has the capacity not of selective withdrawal, because selective withdrawal means when our attention is focused on one thing, then naturally the other thing goes out of your focus. And therefore, it is as if you have withdrawn from there. So that's why you don't say that in certain situations, you were there in the same place. And then you say, well, I was there in the same room, hey, yet I didn't notice it. Oh, there was such a loud noise. And then you say, no, I was very much in a conversation. And that's why I didn't notice it. So now, obviously, your sense, the auditory faculty has not reached or was not able to register the noise which took place over there. So there is certain withdrawal of the senses in all of our cases. But over here, sarvashaha, completely, what does that mean? Because Madhusudan Saraswati has said that this particular shloka is an answer to Arjuna's question, how does he sit? Meaning, how is he seated? Now, what exactly is the implication of this question, and how does the answer as like the kurma? He sits like the kurma, like the turtle. How does the answer becomes a befitting reply is what we have to just observe by understand and also understanding sarvashaha upasamharate. So now we have to see these two things. Madhusudan Saraswati says, Idanim kima asita iti prashnasya uttaram vaktum arabhate. Tatra prarabdha karmavashat vyutthanena vikshiptani indriyani punaha upasamhritya samadhyarthameva. Tatra. Now, in the present context, prarabdha karmavashat, it is because the prarabdha of even of the jivan mukta, of that jnani, is going to present him with situations pleasant and unpleasant, because that was even told to us by Bhagwan Shri Krishna before. Tat tat prapya shubha shubham. The whatever shubha shubha, auspicious, inauspicious, conducive, not conducive, pleasant, unpleasant, is presented. Prapya, having attained it. So, what is it that presents the shubha shubha karma or the shubha shubha anubhava? So here, Madhusudan Saraswati now throws a light on it silently, and he says it is prarabdha karma vasha. What is it that is bringing this pleasant and unpleasant situations to us? It is the prarabdha karma. In accepting and in understanding, appreciating this concept of prarabdha, there will be a great degree of peace in a person's heart. Because now, when we have pleasant unpleasant situations with people, etc., obviously people are involved, we are human beings, and social situations, not just summer and winter and things like that, are going to upset you. But your husband, wife, your friends, or somebody from in your work or somewhere, even a vegetable vendor says something, and then you are upset. At times, even people whom you are not much concerned with. Let us say you're traveling somewhere, you're sitting in a bus, and you were looking at your phone and you didn't notice that your destination already has passed and you are 2 stops away from it. And then you tell the conductor or somebody in the bus, "Why didn't you tell me?" He says, "What were you doing? Were you sleeping or what?" And then you feel insulted. In a bus full of people and passengers, that somebody just said so rudely something like that to you, and then your whole day is also ruined. So prarabdha karma vishak. So then we have people to blame, and we have certain issues where we say, because of him, because of her, I'm unhappy, and then there is. But then the moment you accept, why is even this person giving me to come? Now this person is just a puppet, has just become a passage for my prarabdha to be present, for my prarabdha to give me sukha and dukkham. These are the people who are just becoming the passages. So the moment you have said this, you become responsible for your present actions. Also, we have no unresolved issues with the people then after. Then we don't blame them. What can they do if my prarabdha itself is going to be so difficult, kathina? Then these people are just excuses. They are just passages for channels for my prarabdha karma to bring this pleasant, unpleasant experience. So now, even in the case of this, and this prarabdha karma is related to the body-mind complex. So thus the prarabdha karma, so he says, prarabdha karma vashat vyutthanena. So thus the prarabdha already has ejected the mind of a person, okay, and brought it in contact with the world of objects and people. Thus the chitta is vyutthita. What is the state of that mind? It is vyutthita, means it has gotten up, ejected out. And so vyutthanena vikshiptani indriyani. So now obviously all the 5 jnanendriyas are going to perceive their own objects. The eyes are going to see Ruparanga. The ears are going to perceive the sounds, pleasant and unpleasant. The nose is going to detect the smell, pleasant or unpleasant. It is going to be there. And therefore, vikshiptani indriyani. Now, what happens? Vyuthanena vikshiptani indriyani punaha upasamritya. Now he brings those indriyas back. He pulls them back. And then this little tug of war that the prarabdha throws it out, and he with his purushartha brings it back. He with his own purushakar, he with his own efforts brings it back. Okay. Uh, so, and we have seen in Jivan Mukti Viveka, Vidyaranya Swami presented to us passages from the Yoga Vasishtha, where Vasishtha Rishi instructs Sri Rama, saying that, though there is prarabdha, yet the intense and continuous, sincere efforts of a person also will be able to give him what? The samadhi labh. Okay? Will be able to bring samadhi labh. So now the prarabdha is going to eject the senses out, yet he with his efforts brings it back. Now this will continue for how long? Till the point that the Indriyas, with his own efforts, now learn to overcome even the force of prarabdha. You see? So now, just saying, oh, I'm helpless in front of prarabdha is also not allowed. There may be prarabdha, yet you have your own purushakar, your own efforts, which will help you even overcome the force of prarabdha. Okay, just saying, what can I do? This is prarabdha. Now I have to suffer like this. Though I have knowledge, I am Brahman. Hey, this is not prajnasthiryam. This is asthiryam, which means you continuously thinking that I am what? A helpless experiencer. This itself is prajnasthiryam. We want prajnasthiryam, the steadiness of the prajna. Then here he says, prarabdha karma vashadhyuthanena vikshiptani indriyani punarupasamhritya. Now having brought them back, now this bringing it back is what he says is the position in which the jnani sits. This is how the jnani sits. And hence it is then answer to Arjuna's question as how is he seated. In Marathi, will you not say, to heच karat basto. Basto है ना, यही करते बैठता है, तो बैठा है. He is seated. And therefore, this is an answer to Arjuna's question, Kimasita, how is he seated? Kathamasita. Kimasita means Kathamasita. Itham, like this. So Punarupa Samhritya. And why does he do that? Samadhyarthameva. Madhusudan Saraswati answers that question, saying Samadhyarthameva. For what? For the sake of Samadhi. But sir, also you said sarvashaha upasamhritya. Because yada samharate chayam kurmaha angani sarvashaha. Ayam api sarvashaha angani. Angani means over here indriyani sarvashaha samharate. Now this person also withdraws. Withdraws. So the contact between the indriya and the artha. Indriya means, now you all understand what is indriya? The organs of action and organs of perception or organs of knowledge. Jnanendriyani, karmendriyani. The contact between the indriya and its object is what he breaks. So, indriyani indriyarthebhyaha upasamhritya. Upasamharate. And the meaning of the word upasamhara also we have seen as uparati. Because of uparati, there is upasamhara, withdrawal. Okay. So, sarvashaha. What is sarvashaha? So, Madhusudan Saraswati just gives you a small little indication. He says, Shabdadibhyaha sarvebhyaha. Okay. Sarvebhyaha arthani. So that sarvebhyaha arthebhyaha is the meaning of word sarvashaha. From all the five objects. The five objects of action and the five objects of knowledge. Sarvebhyaha is the meaning of word sarvashaha. Okay? That's so now we see that a person withdraws completely. And when he is able to withdraw completely, what does he withdraw? The indriyas. From where does he withdraw the indriyas? From their respective objects. How does he withdraw? Completely. And when this happens, one should know this is an indication that the prajna of that person is steady. Now, what is a lesson that you can take home? The thing is that we also have to learn how to withdraw, learn where to participate, how much to participate, whether to participate or not. It is not necessary that everywhere our participation is required. At least that much discrimination one should have, whether our opinion is required or not, whether our participation and discussion is required or not. You may be very knowledgeable. How you can be very knowledgeable, you can have a very important information, but is it required or not? When you are going to present something that is not required, obviously it is going to be disrespected. Obviously it is going to get rejected. You may be right. You may be very, very, very correct. Yet if it is not required by those people, it will never be respected. And for this, let us keep Bhagavan Shri Krishna as our ideal. You know, Arjuna is his extremely dear friend. So much so, he says that Arjuna is my life and I am Arjuna's life. If you are going to hurt Arjuna, it is equivalent to hurting me. So definitely I am going to stand in Arjuna's defense. That was Shri Krishna's stand. Because Arjuna also loves Shri Krishna equally more than his life. Okay. So, so though there is this intensity of emotion, yet Bhagavan Shri Krishna never imparted this knowledge to Arjuna. They would discuss politics, they would discuss policies, they would discuss other things, relationships. But never ever Shri Krishna comes to him saying, Arjuna, listen, Atma is Brahman, and that Brahman I am. And so is the knowledge. You also know yourself to be Brahman and not separate from me, because that is my true nature. I'm Ishvara. No, he does not go to say that. There are other devotees like Bhishma, etc., for whom Sri Krishna is manifestation of that of the supreme reality. Yet Arjuna does not take a clue from anybody of them and never ever questions. And as long as Arjuna has not asked this question, Shri Krishna has not even given this knowledge. It was on the battlefield where Arjuna feels the intensity of the pain and falls at Krishna's feet, saying that save me from this suffering, put an end to my suffering. It is there Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells Arjuna, know what is the reality. What is the self, what is not the self, what is Atma, what is Anatma, what is Sat, what is Asat. Know that and be free. All that you require is just knowing. It is at that point Shri Krishna gives the knowledge. Now, such an important thing. Why has Shri Krishna not given to Arjuna before? Because it was not demanded. It was not asked for, which means a person is not asking for it, no matter how important and how valuable it is. Yet, if it is not asked, means the person is not ready. If he is not ready, why do you want to force feed him? That is imposing oneself. And therefore, one should know where to participate, when to participate, how much to, or whether to participate or not to participate. And over here, when it comes to prajnasthairyam, now it is a complete withdrawal at his will, at the person's will. Go. Because the world already has lost significance. And so, Indriyani Indriyarthebhyaha yah sarvashaha upasamharate tasya prajna pratisthita iti. This is the answer. So, there is one more point which one we will go into, and that is brought to us by Shankarananda. Shankarananda ji is the teacher of Vidyaranya Swami. So this is interesting also. He says, the turtle withdraws its limbs out of fear. So if there is any predator, because turtle does not have any other defense. Okay. American turtles are there, snapping turtles, they can bite. But how much? Even so, there is somebody like a tiger or a wolf, and then it can easily, with just one blow of the paw, it can kill the turtle. Then the defense that this organism has is only to withdraw. So whenever there is any fear or any threat outside, it withdraws. So here he says, just as a turtle out of fear, when threatened, withdraws its limbs and withdraws in himself, it's in its own shell. So the yati, so a sannyasi, should withdraw the senses from the objects out of fear only. Shankaranandji says. But why should he have the fear? You don't have to show how smart, courageous you are. हम कुछ नहीं होता, हम दुनिया में ऐसे ही रहेंगे. भाई, be very, very cautious. You don't have to prove how smart, courageous you are to the world. Because nobody really cares. For heaven's sake, nobody really cares. And therefore, out of fear. Why? Because now the yati he is intensely aware of the fact that this will cause attachment and it will become an obstacle to my samadhi. It will become an obstacle to my samadhi abhyasa, and therefore samadhi sthiryaya tat pravrittim varayati. This is what Shankaranandji says. Samadhi sthiryaya. It is for the steadiness of the samadhi. Then what is you are talking about prajna sthiryam. Shri Krishna is talking about prajna sthiryam, the steadiness of knowledge, and you are talking about the steadiness of samadhi. Are you not discussing two different issues? He says, no, because it is through the steadiness of the samadhi, the steadiness of the knowledge is the result. You cannot make the knowledge steady, but you can make the samadhi steady. And if the samadhi is steady, its effect will be steadiness of the knowledge. And therefore, samadhi sthiryaya tat pravrittim varayati. This is what is explained by the teachers about this particular verse. Now, furthermore, in the 59th verse, we have a little introduction to this. We understand withdrawal from the objects means whose withdrawal? The withdrawal of the senses or the indriyas, just senses, because English language does not allow us to put the senses and the karmendriyas together. But in Sanskrit over here, we have one word, and that can having used that, it can mean karmendriyas as well as the jnanendriyas. What is that word? Indriya itself. When you say indriya, it means both, whether karma or jnana, both the indriyas. So the indriya, withdrawal of the indriyas means non-participation of the indriyas is one of the lakshanas, is one of the distinguishing characteristics of the prajna sthiryam. Okay. Now, there is a question. The question is, say somebody is sick. Someone is not well. Someone is sick. Now, in that situation too, the person does not feel interested. You bring him nice food. He says, no. Shall I put nice music? He says, please. Let me bring you nice clothes. No, let me sleep. So a person who is sick, etc., also, is he not able to withdraw? Then if such a person is also withdrawing, and even your jnani is also withdrawing, then withdrawal is a common thing between both of them. Correct? Withdrawal of the indriyas is a common thing between even a sick person or and the jnani too. But does the withdrawal of the indriyas makes the knowledge steady in the sick person? No. Then how are you saying that withdrawal of the senses brings steadiness of the knowledge? Because there is a vyabhichara over here. You understand what is the question? In case of a sick person also, there is withdrawal. And though he withdraws, yet his knowledge, he does not have knowledge and knowledge does not, so there is no question. So over there is nothing like steadiness of the knowledge in case of a sick person. Then how can you say that withdrawal, upasamharanam, is the cause, indriyanam upasamharanam is the cause for steadiness of the knowledge? This is the doubt. Now, this doubt is being answered in the next verse. Okay, let us read the or recite the stanza. Vishaya vinivartante, Vishaya vinivartante, Niraharasya dehinaha, Niraharasya dehinaha, Rasavarjam rasopyasya, Rasavarjam rasopyasya, Param drishtva nivartate, Param drishtva nivartate. Ah. What is the anvaya of this shloka? Niraharasya dehinaha vishayaha rasavarjam vinivartante. Asya rasopi param drishtva nivartate. Asya rasopi param drishtva nivartate. This is the anvaya. What is the English meaning of this sentence? For the one who is embodied, okay, dehinaha, for the embodied one who does not feed the senses, nirahara, the one who does not feed the senses. What is feeding the senses? The senses coming into contact with their respective objects itself is feeding the senses. So the one who does not feed the senses return back. Okay? The senses return back, they come back. Yet, their coming back does not mean they have lost the interest. It means they still retain the interest, though they have come back. And whenever they find an opportunity, they will now jump at it. And therefore, the rasavarjam, the rasa is rasavarjayitva. They come back, but still leaving the rasa, the interest in the objects. Rasavarjam. They leave their interest behind. And so, having seen the Supreme Self, having seen the Param, Supreme, that what is highest, having seen Drishtva, having seen the Supreme, even this interest also goes away. Okay? Param Drishtva Rasaha api nivartate. Okay? This is the meaning. Now understand from the some points over here. So Bhagwan Bhashakar says, even if a person who is sick, kashte tapasi sthitaha, or the one who is in some kashta. Kashta means, huh? Kashta means some pain or some difficulty. Okay, the one who is in a difficulty, or tapasi sthitaha, or the one who has taken some austerity. Even such a person also is able to withdraw the senses. The one who is sick, or who is in a difficulty, or a person who has taken some, some austerity to follow tapas. Don't you do this? I have observed these people who do this dieting. They do this dieting. So even if there is nice food, everybody is eating, yet this fellow is still eating only the salad leaves, lettuce leaves. And he does not even regret. He eats that. Take this big slice of pizza. No. He feels as if it is a big papa, sin, patak. No, 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 no. How is he then? So a person who is in a situation, so he has taken up some discipline, is not it? Austerity. So people who are sick or in a difficult situation, or those who have taken up some discipline for themselves, people do this. On Mondays and Thursdays, people fast. Certain people, different days according to their own inclination for a deity. They do. And during that day, even if they may be even cooking food for the entire family, delicious food, yet they don't eat. So Bhagavan Bhashyakara says, does that mean that their rasa also has gone? Their interest in those things has gone? They are definitely not eating. Whether it is a sick person or a person in a difficulty or somebody who has taken up a discipline, the thing is, their interest is still there. Then the question, according to Bhashyakara, is how does this interest go away? The senses are withdrawn, but the rasam is there. So somebody is going to ask a question. Let the rasa be there. What is your problem? The problem is, as long as even this rasa is there, it will not allow the prajna sthiryam. Do you understand? It will not allow the prajna sthiryam. not allow the prajnasthairyam. And that is why we are against the rasa. Not that he's protesting and something like that. Wow, we are not against anything. All that we want is prajnasthairyam. Anything that is going to become an obstacle to prajnasthairyam is something that we are going to reject. So yeah, how does this go away? So is the question. And so Krishna Bhagavan answers this by saying, Param Drishtva Nivartate. Okay? When you are going to expose the mind to the reality again and again, this is the nature of the self. This is the nature of the self. Again and again, again and again, then that mind also understands, oh, this is where I should be sitting, and goes and sits in Brahman. That is what it is. Okay. Again, till the point the mind now refuses to go out. There is one incident in life of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. You know, so many people used to come to visit Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, even in his, the last days of his sickness. And whenever Sharda Mata used to bring food, he used to be excited and, he used to immediately get up, ask, what have you made? And even during deep discussions with people, suddenly he will get up and ask, go into the kitchen, ask, what are you cooking? Hey, make this, make that. And then Sharda Mata one day told him that, what are you doing? I'm cooking food for you and I will cook whatever is best for you. Why do you have to do something so childish? Leaving such intense, important discussions of Atma, Paramatma, and run into the kitchen, it makes me feel awkward that in front of so many people you keep doing this. That time, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said that the day when you bring food and I turn my face away, when you bring the plate and I turn my face away, know that this body won't be retained, won't stay alive for more than 3 days after that. The reason is, he said, that my mind is so urdhvagami, it soars into samadhi so easily that I have to forcefully keep it down, even to hold a discussion. And the only way that I can bring it down is by asking what is there in food and things like that. So it is forced to come down. In our case, we have to force to lift it up. He has to force it down. So when the mind is exposed again and again to the self, to the light of the self, now the mind finds its satisfaction. And therefore, when it's satisfied, fulfilled, it is not going to go out in search of any fulfillment, any appeasement. Param drishtva nivartate. Okay? Param drishtva nivartate. That is the answer. So let us look at it. at every word of the verse. Vishayaha. What is the first word taken up? Vishayaha. Vishayaha vinivartante. Now, the word Vishayaha in this context does not mean the sense objects. In fact, it means the senses itself. The objects are not going to return. What is going to return back is your senses. The objects are just sitting there. It is your senses that are going out and or the indriyas going out and contacting the objects. So over here, Vishayaha. So how is this word Vishayaha interpreted? Or you have come to the meaning Indriyaha, Indriyani, sorry. How have you come to the meaning of the word Vishayaha as Indriyani? So Bhagavan Bhashyakara says, Vishayopalakshitani, Vishaya Shabdavachyani, Indriyani. He says, you may even give this consideration that Vishayaha also could mean even the objects. But here there is an explanation. What goes away, what turns back is the Indriyas. So when you're talking about returning back, vinivartante, then obviously it is more appropriate to say Indriyas. How does the word Vishayaha then deliver you the meaning Indriya? Vishayopalakshitani. It is not actually the word Vishaya is not Indriya. Then Vishayopalakshitani. It is only an Upalakshanam. What is it? Upalakshanam. An indication. It is only what do they call? A sign for the Indriyas. Vishayopalakshitani. Vishaya Shabda Vachyani Indriyani. Now, here the word Vishaya, that word Shabda means the Indriyas. So, Vishaya, Vinivartante, comes back. They all come back. Okay. Hey, who's Niraharasya? Who's Nirahar? Nirahara means the one who does not feed the Indriyas. Nirahara. Ahara means food. Nirahara means the one who is without food, so the one who does not feed the Indriyas. Niraharasya. Bhashyakara Bhagavan says, again, I had used the same thing. Kashte sthitasya tapasi sthitasya murkhasya api dehavataha nivartante. Even the one who is in a difficulty or some sort of sorrow or difficulty, frustration, somebody who has lost a job comes home and his wife has made nice things to eat, will he be interested? Will he be interested now that evening to eat food? But I have cooked everything that you like. He keeps quiet. He says that I want to go and sleep. The wife does not understand what has happened. He is not told, he's lost a job or he has had a loss or something like that. Kashte sthitasya. So the one who is in some sort of a difficulty, kashte sthitasya, or tapasi sthitasya, the one who has undertaken some sort of spiritual discipline, upavasa, pratam, he has done. Sthitasya. Murkhasyapi, even some idiot. Sometimes, you come across these people. In fact, I remember when the common folks of India were first exposed to Chinese food. And when they saw the glutinous, the very noodles, oh my God. When, we were still boys in the school and all, and we brought that home. My mother got angry, was angry because the whole thing looks like, a big gitka of, the earthworms or something like that. And on top of it, everything is mobile because it is glutinous. Brook, brook, it slips. Can't even hold it, and we didn't really know that fork or some chopsticks to use it. You keep it in the spoon, you lift it with a spoon, it sleeps, it slips down, it runs away. The whole thing looks like something that is alive in your bowl. So she got very angry. What is this that you have brought? Something very inauspicious or something. Now, even a person who does not know that gets angry and he doesn't want it. So murkhasya api dehavataha nivartante. So indriyas come back. Nobody wants it. Nobody means that person. He doesn't want it. Now, all these people, whether somebody in a difficulty or somebody who has taken up a discipline or just who is a murkha or a sick person, the indriyas come back. But their coming back does not mean that this person has no more interest in it. In fact, coming back under this situation means rasavarjam. Rasavarjam means rasa means raga, liking, interest. Vishayeshu yaha tam varjayitva. So the indriyas come back, but they leave their interest in that object behind. They come back. Today I don't want to eat it. I'm fasting today, Guru's day, because it is Thursday, Gurvar. For Guru's sake, I'm doing this upvas. Huh? But keep it. I will have it tomorrow. Keep it. I will have it. So that rasa is left behind in the Vishaya. You have withdrawn the senses, Indriyas, but the rasa is left over there. So this is rasa varjam, raso ragaha vishayeshu yaha tam varjayitva. Oh, it is left over there. It is that rasa is not withdrawn. Rasa is not withdrawn. Rasa is left behind. Tam varjayitva. That is left behind. What is that? Sa rasaha ranjana rupo sukshmaha. This rasa is very, very, it is sukshma, subtle. At times even you won't know it, but it is still there sitting behind, pulling the strings. Sukshmaha, ranjana rupaha, and it colors the mind. So ranjana rupaha sukshmaha, that is rasa. How does that go away? Paramartha tattvam brahma drashtva. Ahameva tad iti vartamanasya vishaya vijnanam nirbijam sampadyate. Knowing that this is what I am Brahman, and then the one who retains this knowledge, Vishaya Vijnanam Nirbijam Sampadyate. It makes his experience of those Vishayas also nirbija, seedless. What is this? Let's think about it when we meet tomorrow. Okay. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashyakrtau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murtibheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Thank you all. Thank you very much.